you ever felt like you were being tested? Like everything in your life was leading up to one defining moment? A moment that determines whether you rise into your divine calling or remain stuck in the same cycle? Chosen ones, if you fail this one test, God cannot use you. And today we are exploring exactly what this test is, why it happens, and how to overcome it. Stay till the end, because something powerful awaits you. You feel it, don't you? The weight, the pressure, the spiritual battle that no one else seems to understand. Every step you take feels like resistance is trying to pull you back. Doors that once opened easily now seem locked. Relationships that once brought comfort suddenly feel like distractions. The world is shifting around you, but this isn't punishment, it's preparation. Have you ever felt like the harder you try, the more challenges come your way? That's not bad luck, that's a test. God is watching how you react when everything is stripped away. When the people you trusted disappear, when the plans you made fall apart, when the prayers seem to go unanswered. Will you crumble under the weight of the unknown, or will you stand firm in faith? This is not about how strong you are in easy times. It's about who you become when everything is uncertain. Have you ever felt like you were in a season of isolation, like God was silent? That's not abandonment. That's refinement. This test is not about how much scripture you know, how many prayers you say, or how many good deeds you do. It's about your endurance, your obedience, your unwavering trust when everything around you screams that you should give up. Many are called, but few are chosen, because few are willing to withstand the fire that purifies them. Have you ever questioned why God allows suffering in your life? Why the chosen ones face the hardest battles? That's not cruelty, that's divine selection. The test will push you to the edge. It will make you question if you're even meant for this path. It will make you doubt. It will make you fear. It will make you want to turn back. And this is where many fail. They believe the pain is proof that they were never chosen. But in reality, the pain is proof that they are. Have you ever stood at a breaking point, wondering if you're strong enough to continue? That's not weakness. That's the threshold before transformation. The enemy knows who you are, even when you don't. That's why the attacks are relentless. That's why every time you take a step forward, something tries to pull you 2 steps back. It's not a coincidence. It's spiritual warfare. The moment you step into your calling, you become a threat. Have you ever noticed that the moment you start aligning with God's purpose, everything seems to go wrong? That's not failure. That's confirmation. But here's the ultimate test. Will you keep going when nothing makes sense? Will you hold on to faith when there's no proof that things will get better? Will you trust God's timing even when you don't understand His plan? Many people think their test is about external struggles, money, relationships, career. But the real test is internal. The real test is if you can trust without seeing, believe without evidence, and keep moving when every part of you wants to stop. Have you ever had to keep walking when everything in you wanted to give up? That's not blindness. That's true faith. The chosen ones are given the hardest battles because they are meant to lead. And you cannot lead if you have not been broken and rebuilt. You cannot guide others out of darkness if you have never walked through it yourself. Every tear you shed, every heartbreak, every closed door, it is shaping you into someone who can handle the responsibility of divine purpose. Have you ever wondered why your journey is harder than others? That's not unfairness. That's preparation. There is no shortcut through this test. You cannot skip the struggle. You cannot avoid the pain. Every great warrior has scars. Every chosen one has wounds. Every prophet has endured suffering. But what sets them apart is that they did not let their pain turn into bitterness. They let it refine them, strengthen them, and elevate them. Have you ever felt like you were being pushed beyond your limits? That's not cruelty. That's transformation. You must be willing to lose what is not meant for you. This is where most people fail. They hold on too tightly to what God is trying to remove. Relationships that no longer serve their purpose, habits that keep them small, mindsets that block their blessings. The test will strip away everything that is not aligned with your highest calling. Have you ever resisted a change, only to later realize that it was exactly what you needed? That's not loss, that's divine redirection. Patience is part of the test. Will you wait when nothing seems to be happening? Will you trust when the process feels endless? Many people give up right before their breakthrough because they mistake delay for denial. But God's timing is not ours. If you cannot trust the waiting season, you are not ready for the blessing. Have you ever felt like your prayers were unanswered? Like you were stuck in a never-ending test? That's not rejection. That's timing. Your past does not disqualify you, but your willingness does. God is not looking for the perfect. He is looking for the willing. He is not waiting for you to be flawless. He is waiting for you to surrender. The test is not about being without sin, without struggle, or without fear. It is about whether you will choose faith despite them. Have you ever felt unworthy of your calling? Like you've made too many mistakes? That's not disqualification. That's proof that God's grace is greater than your failures. The moment you decide that no matter what happens, you will not turn back, is the moment you pass the test. It is the moment the enemy loses power over you. It is the moment heaven moves in your favor. Because the only thing God needs from you is your unwavering yes. A yes that does not waver in storms. A yes that does not fade in silence. A yes that does not break under pressure. Have you ever made a decision that changed everything? That's not just choice. That's destiny. And finally, the test is revealing who you truly are. It is showing you what you are made of. It is separating you from the ordinary. The struggles, the heartbreaks, the battles, they were never meant to break you. They were meant to awaken you. They were meant to bring you face to face with your divine purpose. The question is, will you rise or will you fall? Have you ever wondered why your path is so difficult while others seem to walk through life effortlessly? Why every time you get closer to your breakthrough, something tries to pull you back? Chosen one, this is not a coincidence. This is your test. And if you fail this one test, God cannot use you. In this video, we are uncovering the divine test that separates the chosen from the ordinary. Stay until the end, because what you hear today may change your destiny forever. You feel it, don't you? That relentless pressure, the feeling that something bigger is happening behind the scenes. The doors that once opened for you now seem shut, the people you trusted have vanished, and the comfort you once knew has disappeared. This is the season of refinement, and God is watching to see if you will endure or if you will break. Have you ever felt like you were losing everything just before something big was about to happen? That's not failure. That's testing. God will allow you to go through a wilderness season, a season of stripping away, a season where everything feels uncertain. Not because He has forgotten you, but because He is preparing you. This is where most people fail. They believe that their struggles mean God has abandoned them, but in reality, their struggles are proof that God is preparing them for something greater. Have you ever mistaken hardship for rejection, when in reality, it was preparation? That's not punishment, that's elevation. This test is not about how much faith you have when things are easy, but how much faith you keep when everything falls apart. Will you still trust in God when the path is unclear? Will you still believe in your calling when all you see is resistance? Many are called, but only a few are chosen, because only a few are willing to trust through the storm. Have you ever been in a moment where everything told you to quit, but something deep inside whispered, keep going? That's not just persistence, that's destiny calling. The enemy knows that if you pass this test, you will step into a power that cannot be stopped. That is why every distraction, every temptation, every setback is being thrown your way. The enemy does not attack the weak. He attacks the strong, the ones destined for greatness. Have you ever noticed that the closer you get to something great, the more intense the attacks become? That's not a coincidence. That's confirmation. This test will reveal who you truly are. Will you stand firm or will you give in? Will you keep faith when no one is watching? Will you remain obedient when there's no reward in sight? This is not about what you say you believe. It's about whether you can live out that belief when everything is against you. Have you ever found yourself at a breaking point, questioning whether you have the strength to keep going? That's not weakness. That's the moment before transformation. The greatest warriors of God have all faced this test. Moses had to wander the desert before leading his people. Joseph had to be betrayed and imprisoned before stepping into his destiny. David had to face giants alone before he could become king. Their journeys were never easy, but they were necessary. And now your journey is being shaped in the same way. Have you ever looked at your struggles and realized they were shaping you into something greater? That's not just hardship, that's divine training. God is watching to see if you will surrender, not to the enemy, but to his plan. This test is not about fighting harder, it's about trusting deeper. It's about releasing control and allowing divine timing to unfold. Many fail because they try to force their own way instead of allowing God to lead them. Have you ever felt like nothing was working, no matter how hard you tried? That's not failure. That's a sign to surrender. But here's the truth. If you pass this test, everything changes. The doors that were once shut will open. The blessings that were delayed will come rushing in. The struggles that once weighed you down will turn into the testimony that lifts you up. Because God does not waste the pain of his chosen ones. He transforms it. Have you ever felt like your hardest moments were leading you towards something greater? That's not just endurance. That's your breakthrough in the making. And finally, this test is here to make you unshakable, to remove every doubt, every fear, every weakness, so that when your moment comes, you will be ready. This is not just a challenge, it's a calling. The question is, will you rise or will you fall? What's your opinion on this? Have you felt this test happening in your life? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more powerful revelations. And if you want to dive deeper into your spiritual journey, check out the video in the description. Your destiny is waiting. Will you step into it?